Hello out there, got a nice little video for you today. Have to make some more parts for the arc lamp here. So here's the big 12-inch diameter glass globe, 6-inch opening. And I needed to make the bracket that holds the globe on, which is out of 1/8-inch brass wire. And this hanger for the inner globe, which you'll notice is still absent. Cut the carbon to the right length. Got the right carbons, which are cord carbons for this, thanks to you-know-who if you're watching. Had to add this chain, which was when you dropped this globe, or not drop, when you released this globe when you were servicing the lamp, this chain served to hold it in place so it wouldn't fall all the way. And I had to duplicate this clip latch, which holds the globe in place. For some reason, the other side was missing. So you can follow me through this process, and at the end, I'll show you the great improvement of operation with these new carbons. Here's the starting point for the globe retaining ring. That picture came from a generous fellow who's been helping me out a lot with this, and that's a picture of an original one. So I started by going to the hardware store and getting 1/8-inch round brass stock and bending it. It was quite soft, so I just bent it cold. And when I was bending that kind of loop, it went piff and it blew apart. So there goes a half hour. I went, damn, in the corner of the shop is sitting a couple rolls of brazing rod. So there were a whole bunch in there. So I just scraped the flux off of it. And it was a little bit harder, so I did it all hot this time. So just using pliers and the vise. And then it needed these little retaining rings to keep the loops that index with the clip latches tight together. So flattened some of the same 1/8-inch bar on the anvil and then filed the edges so it looked like square or little flat strap stuff. And then went to the torch and annealed it. So got it to orange and dipped it in the Canadian wintertime equivalent of a water quenching bucket. So the first tab that I tried was 5/8 long and just made a little clip, and it didn't quite come all the way around. So the second ones I made were 3/4 of an inch, and they worked perfectly. So with a little bit of old brazing rod with the flux scraped off, I think this little project here worked quite well. So I just went ahead using the needle nose pliers and another pair of pliers, crimped those in place. You can see here they looked very nicely fitting once they were done. I think the originals were solid loops, but these straps will work fine. Here's the next part to reproduce. It's the clip latch, and this wire goes on the inside, and this is what pulls up the lens. So this, I believe, is copper. 2 holes in each side, pretty simple. I don't know why the other one's missing, but it is. So it's just shy of a 1/16 of an inch. So I got that big old copper plumbing pipe, and it's the perfect thickness. So this stuff's pretty stiff, which is good because you're going to put some force on it because it's a latch. And the way that I'm going to make this without squishing the original flat so we can retain it, we'll use the same tactic that's used to make gaskets, or at least how I was shown to make gaskets in high school. And that is with a little bit of oil from the can and just a very small amount on the faces. And then once this is coated in oil, we can put it against the paper and the oil will stick to the paper and we'll have a profile. So this curved part we'll have to approximate, but the rest we should be able to tell pretty well. That should be enough. Now I think I'll start on this side, just put a good bit of force and then we'll walk it. And walk it again. There we go. Oh. So, because it's pretty thin paper and the oil's going to want to walk, I'll use a marker or a pencil trace the profile. There's the pattern, which is of course approximate, a little bit asymmetric, but we'll just lay that out very roughly there. I'll cut this square off and then we'll start subtracting bits and pieces. Here we go so far, just with a hacksaw. Now there's going to be lots of filing. Progress. One half is done and matches the real one. This little thumb catch is done. Should be symmetric. So now I'll do this one, gouge the center out, and start thinking about bending it. So the outer profiles are good, bottom's good. Just hacksawed that. And most of what the process I'm kind of doing here, I take the round file, which is really good at kind of quickly gouging a bunch away, and then it'll make a notch, and then I'll go beside that notch and make another notch with the round file, and it'll end up looking like that. And then using the flat file, smooth that over. I found that to be the best way so far. So let me get this finished up. Well, there's the shape. We'll put the holes in after in case the bend goes a little bit wonky. I'll be able to align the holes properly. Don't want to risk doing them now and having them coming out all asymmetric. So just give it a quick little clean. I don't want to make it too polished and shiny so that it kind of still matches the rest of the lamp. This side's pretty greasy. This was the inside side of the old, I don't know, water pipe. Maybe it was a sewer pipe. Now I guess to improve the finish at the end, we could give it a little acid bath, but I'm happy with that for now. So I think what I'll do is put it in here, kind of an arbitrary spot. And using these Tinsmith benderoos, we'll just kind of line it up like so. And I will use heat because this is one part I don't want to bust. This has been a good hour of filing alone, so. Okay, looks okay. It loses heat really, really quickly. It's copper, of course. Well, that worked pretty well. It looks nice, the place that it bent, but we'll have to figure a way to square it up because that corner is a bit too round for comfort. You know, this is what we're going for. Where are we? Here. Pretty square, not that square, so that's okay, but maybe I'll use some of this copper and make a little soft jaw in here, and we can tap it with a brass hammer or something. Don't think there is a brass hammer here, so I'll just have to make do with being gentle. So copper on this side, so it'll be on this face, and then it doesn't really matter if there's a bit of marring in here. It's already a really rough surface from that corrosion. So, whoa. There's side one. Had to tweak it a little bit to get the width proper. It came out a little bit too wide initially. And side number 2 is going to be a bit more difficult because of the angle I have to hold it on, clamp it on. The little tab doesn't like that. How can I hold that better? Might just have to be one of these. This would be a perfect case to try and make some dies out of wood and use a press or something and just take the flat and go, whoop. It shouldn't be too hard. It should be a block in here and a slot, but I don't have a good press, so we'll do it this way by hand. Well, that looks okay. We'll finesse it a little bit, but that's awful close. How will I do that? Yeah, awful close. Got the right shape going on. Last thing to do is to turn up a little thumb catch. Drill the holes. Do-do-do-dee-dee-doo. Do-do-do-do-do. Yes. Drilled that side. This side I just started. I'm going to show you. I just put it against this aluminum block so that it could go through the copper and make a nice hole. Turn the drill really slow. Wants to wander a bit. There we go. So, hope you enjoyed the couple clips of making these parts up here. And as you can see, they're already installed on the lamp. So the globe holder, the inner globe holder, the chain, and then the clip latch. So all you do to hook this up is lift the globe, and then it hooks into, you have to finesse it around the little bottom system here, and hook each side of the globe retainer onto the clip latches, and now it'll just kind of sit there. And then you flip the clip latches up to lock the thing in place, and they hold it there with a positive action so it's not shaky. The wire just sits on the side there. And now for the exciting part. First things first, go ahead and replace the old glasses with these guys, like so. And now we take the wire from the movie lamp and plug it into the Variac and turn the bench light off. Now, this thing's going to run much better than it did last time, but it still will not run perfectly until I get that inner globe. So you can wait down the line, and once I get that, then you'll be able to see a true, fully functional final product. For the moment, though, have a look at this. Much bigger, significant improvement. Now, it's a little bit shaky, but it's much less shaky than it's probably seeming in the video. It looks like, actually it looks like there's a pretty good flame going on right there. There shouldn't be, but I think the rods are just kind of working themselves into place. I'm running the Variac at 120, so if I drop it down to 110, oh, it's pretty well the same. Major improvement though, the ever so slight of a hum coming off the device, and there is a little bit of smoke coming out from those carbons burning up because they should be in an isolated atmosphere of the inner globe. Now I'll hit the shut off and you'll hear the rod drop with the solenoid, and it's glowing orange a little bit, and then we can fire it up right away. Comes back on. Very nice glow in here. I'm extremely happy with that. So stay tuned, and we'll do some more measurements. This thing will come apart again, and I'll do a proper full tear down, clean up, and eventually find the inner globe for it. So hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.